foarte diferit. Pregătiți? Da, poți să încep.
Okay, we are now live. Hello, I'm Sebastian Chirimbu. I'm from Romania, and I'm delighted to present today teaching and learning strategies in an educated Romania. First of all, because it's a Europe Day, and we are celebrating this wonderful day with our kids in Romania, and with our partners from the International Internship University, who is a leading virtual education system and global brands confederation, which is the most valuable and trusted worldwide and well reputed in delivering innovative programs. And globally, it is a trusted name for quality training programs and is committed to providing better and virtual education to all the young learners of the globe. This is why we have today this presentation and this online workshop. How to deliver education, what about learning strategies, and what is education for every country. Happy Europe Day for our learners from the European space, European area. And la mulți ani pentru prietenii de România. Probably we have a lot of friends from Romania now just watching this live training, the development workshop. So hello again. My presentation will be today about strategies, as I told you. In a moment, I must share the presentation. So teaching and learning strategies in an educated Romania. I'm an associate professor, PhD at the University of Spirit Bucharest. Also, I'm the director of the Institute of Research, Policies and Evaluation in Education, and also the associate professor at Ion Creangă State University in Chișinău in Moldavia. As I told you before, the International Internship University is metamorphosing conventional education system by cutting down the additional cost and providing access to more than 1,000 courses and internship to their learners across the globe with the help of its 1,000 global education in a short span of time. The International Internship University has spread its wing in 195 countries and 6 continents under the strong leadership of its visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit. I'm very grateful for this invitation to deliver the workshop. I'm very exciting because this subject we're developing at the Institute of Research in Romania, and also because this is a subject very interested for the European policies from every country, especially in Bulgaria, in Greece, in Moldavia, in Ukraine. Also, as you can see in India. So it is Europe Day. So in today's society, having an education is considered a vital part of being accepted by those around you. And having an education is believed to make you a useful part of society and can make you feel like a contributing member as well. Because it's Europe Day, I thought about the EU works and the member states for supporting the development of quality national school education system, but also they all promote collaboration on the issues of shared concern. And schools, as you probably know, need to adapt their teaching methods to encourage with children's linguistic and cultural backgrounds in a positive manner, enable students to thrive throughout school. And the well-being, because it's a trend to talk about, to implement the well-being. The well-being, this well-being is a state in which pupil students are able to develop their potential, learn, but also they can play creatively. And concretely, well-being at schools means feeling safe, feeling valued, feeling respected, having positive self-esteem, having positive and supportive relationship with teachers, tutors, counselors, and feeling a sense of belonging to the classroom and school, feeling happy and satisfied with their lives at school. It was a question some years ago I addressed to my students: why education? Why do we need education in Romania, but also in every country of the world? And there are many different understandings and definition of what education is, but one thing can be universally agreed upon, which is the importance of education. And I have found on the internet this very powerful text: training and education aim at the conscious development of human potential and the formation of a personality type from perspective of today's society. And education focuses on people, aims in developing their qualities, exploring horizons, and predominantly oriented towards preparing life, and considers questions on existence, aiming at developing a state or structure achieved. The purpose of education combines the short-term vision with the long-term one. Education, as you can see, has a finalist character and is a product of people. Therefore, it can be explained and approached only in terms of the intention pursued and the results obtained. We all know that education is an action that leads the human being towards a well-defined goal. And education means studying. Studying because we need to obtain a deeper knowledge and understanding of a variety of subjects to be applied to daily life. Education, we think, it is not limited to just knowledge from books, but also can be obtained through practical experience outside of the classroom. Education provides stability in our life, and it's something that no one can ever take away from you. And on top of stability, education, we think, that provides financial security, especially in today's society. A good education tends to lead to a higher paying job, as well as provide you with the skills we need to get there. And in order to for the entire world to really become equal, it needs to start with education. If everyone was provided with the same opportunities of education, there would be less gaps between social classes, between our communities, between our countries, between our societies. Everyone would be able to have an equal chance at higher paying jobs, not just to those that are already well off. Make your dream come true. This is the motto I'd like to begin with. Make your dreams come true for a safer world. Because if you can dream it, you can achieve it. And education is the most powerful weapon you can possibly have. And with it, you can make all of your dreams come true. So do not forget, make your dreams come true. There are, of course, certain exceptions depending on what you are aiming for, but generally, an education will take you as far as you are willing to go. Why a safer world? Because education is something that's not needed on a personal level, as it's something that keeps your world safe and makes it more peaceful place. Education, right, tends to teach people the difference between right and wrong, and can help people stay out of risky situation. This is a classroom. This is a modern classroom, as you can see in the image. And probably you have noticed that in recent years there have been various changes in the growing bond between school and society. And nowadays it is known that the school, it is not only about teaching. The realities in the educational institutions, realities offered by school actors lead us to this conclusion. And the transition from a culture of modernity, from the perspective of which teachers exercise more power than authority, is a postmodern culture whose values, principles, and ideas are still in the process of coagulation. We know that we can promote that four pillars. Probably you have the idea about these pillars: education, research, development, and innovation. So if we promote that four pillars, is not the only priority support for our social activities. We all need values. We must ensure that we teach values, and our schools are very powerful in teaching values. We cannot achieve a knowledge economy and society without believing in the values. And learning means the development education of institutions and technologies, research at the service of solving complex problems we face every day. Multiple changes arise from educational system. Since all roads of knowledge lead to education, the solutions or the crisis of general culture are still in school, starting from the educational ideal, which aims at the complex formation of young people from an intellectual, a moral, or social point of view. Developments and programmatic assumptions are needed at the level of relevant policies regarding the mission of the school, the restructuring of contents, and the modernization of teaching strategies. We talk about innovation, but let's look around. Things have changed. Today's students are different. They think, they process information fundamentally differently from the from their predecessors. I think that modernization of education is conditioned by the needs of the contemporary world, which requires an education based on formation of various types of skills, which will contribute to the formation of the personality of tomorrow's graduate. It is up to teacher to create together with students new means, new methods of teaching, assessment, learning, also digital competencies determining in evolution, and describing to the teacher's profile made from within an institution can be subjective, sometimes different from those perceived by another institution or by the society. And our priority changed, and this priority is in relation with the requirements of today's society. Valuing students, applying the principles of differentiation pedagogy or the pedagogy constructivism, the educator must design his didactic strategy so that his formative intervention benefits its students and learning becomes a constructive process. We know that the teacher is the key figure for every education system, including the national education system, including the international education system. We know that my mission as a teacher, is to improve this system. My mission is to implement student-centered learning based on learning outcomes to train competencies, attitudes, skills, and nowadays all the teachers have this responsibility to ensure the best training and education for children, for young people, for students to educate active citizens for society and valuable specialists for the needs of the labor market. Teachers can work with passion. Teachers can work with motivation because we need to promote change where needed. And teacher motivation involves both the desire to teach and one interpersonal style towards students while doing so. A teacher's own personal motivation resolves around the extent of psychological dissatisfaction experienced during the act of teaching, and it manifests itself in terms of teacher enthusiasm and job satisfaction. Teaching is our profession. You can see the image. Changing lives also is our profession, but it is our passion. And over the past several years, the field of science education has been advanced in curriculum development, assessment, and professional learning. And during the classroom discourse, teachers solicit students' diverse intellectual resources from knowledge building. And achieving this and other shifted called foreign framework from the European framework demand teachers invest a lot of time, substantial time, and focus toward changing their teaching practice. Thanks to the technological progress and increased access to knowledge and resources, we can achieve changes that sometimes ago we could not ever think of. We therefore need to change the way we think about the present and the future of education that we give to the next generation with this in mind. We can no longer afford a past-oriented museum school that emphasizes knowledge, but we need a school that prepares children for the future, focusing on social and communication skills and focusing on the learner on his or her needs, interest, and aspiration, on his or her subjectivity requires a reconsideration of the competencies necessary for exercising teaching profession respectively on its specific standards. This transition is also from the time of Plato, Aristotle, St. Paul, or Aquinas, because we know we have the idea of the learning strategies. And in organizing and implementing a strategic approach, the teacher, everyone, maybe you or I, must start from the following ideas with applicative principles, or shifting the focus from teaching to student-centered learning, raising students' awareness of the need to involve them in their own training process, also reconsidering the teacher's role as organizing and facilitator on the learning process in which her students are involved, but also differentiating teaching approaches in relation to the different learning styles practiced by students. We know that we have a lot of definitions. There is an index here, an inventory of the definition for didactic for learning strategy. As you can see, this teaching didactic learning strategy is a concept characterized by semantic plurality, a way of approaching a training situation, a way of combining and organizing chronologically the set of methods and means chosen to achieve certain objectives, maybe a set of deliberately structured or programmed teaching learning actions and operations oriented towards achievement under conditions of maximum effectiveness of predetermined objectives. Also, a set of procedures through which the collaboration between teacher and students is achieved in order to teach and learn a volume of information, form skills and abilities, and to develop human personality. For Professor Marit Stoica, the didactic strategy designates the more complex way of organizing and managing the training process based on the combination of methods, means of education, and forms of grouping students in order to achieve pedagogical objectives. From its use of conducting analysis of the proposed definition of the concept dictates the following conclusions. So the strategy involves a way approaching a specific training situation, both from psychological point of view and from a psychopedagogical point of view. We talk about motivation, we talk about personality, also about learning style. In this representation and psychopedagogical beliefs of the teacher are so powerful, so decisive elements in the construction of the strategy. We know also that the strategies in which probabilistic and voluntary elements intersect in the dynamics of the process at the decision level. Interactive, because we all learned about interactive teaching activities. We all promote the interactive teaching activities. They promote, or this is about active learning. This is about sustained collaboration between students, organized in microgroups, work together to achieve predetermined goals. We know that the didactical goal approach is designed so that it no longer focuses on the teacher, but on the student. And the teacher's role remains a capital one, but giving up the old rigid and uniform educational practices, he becomes the organizer of the learning environment adapted to the particularities and needs to beneficiaries, facilitating the learning process and the developing of competencies. In order to ensure the development of the school, the teacher's perception of students undergoes radical transformations. The image of pupil, student, passive receiver of information, of prefabricated knowledge is replaced by the image of an active student, a student very motivated to practice authentic learning, a student very motivated for skills, for processing or generating new knowledge. Also, we can apply this in different contexts. So the strategy is part of the approach of optimizing training, being a functional way of managing instructional resources in order to achieve the criteria of efficiency and effectiveness on the process. In a broad pedagogical sense, the concept of strategy refers to the set of concepts, decisions, working techniques, action procedures, and operations aimed at the functionality, improvement, and modernization of the structural components on the educational process in accordance with the general objectives of education and education. You can see the general meaning of the concept strategy is that of a way conceiving, guiding a system and medium short-term vision of educational process. We can see also that the component element of the curriculum, the strategy arises from the need to find solutions regarding the procedural how being in a relation of subordinating to educational goals. And the great variety of pedagogical literature highlights different definitions on the concept. You can see here assembly of general methods. You can see here ways of scheduling didactic events. You can see here concrete ways of correlating methods depending on the form of organization. Also, a way to put students in contact with the subject to be learned, but also the operation of designing, organizing, and carrying out a chain of teaching learning situations. What is a structure? Probably you know what is the structure of a teaching strategy because we are all teachers. And we all know that the strategy, or every strategy, must have a multi-level structure. So we start with training methods, means of instruction, forms of organizing of training, but also instructional, interactional relationship, but also instructional decision, in which the final decision determined by the focus on certain objectives that does not result from the sum of the listed elements, but from the synthesis and interaction. From a psychopedagogical point of view, strategies consist of types of learning, methods, techniques, evaluation tests designed by teacher or students, also educational aids motivating for learning, but also types of learning experiences and learning style choice. From a psychological social now point of view, strategies include teacher-students education relations, socio-cognitive interaction and interpersonal processes, educational communication, but among these component elements, the most important are methodological system of education means form of education of students activity or teacher-students relation. There are a lot of criteria against which teaching strategies are established. And the main criteria, I think, is the educational, pedagogical, and didactic conception of the period. Is the school time, is the subjectivity of the teacher, the cognitive learning experience that students have, also the school stage, the school cycle, also the society, the country as the school is. There are also ways to optimizing interactive teaching strategies. And the strategy becomes effective if it is used in one training situation on another. We cannot talk about effective and more efficient strategies, but about optimizing them in relation to the concrete learning situation. And taking as important components of the strategy the type of the learning experiences, the methodological system, the system of educational means, the form of organization of students' activity, also the interpersonal relationship. We intend to analyze them further. Type of learning experiences. We refer here to how to approach learning context, also teacher-students relationship can be included in the issue of teaching strategies because through them, teaching activities, the use of one method or another means replace, and they are of particular importance in creating a positive social and effective tone, fulfilling several specific functions. We know the imperative of quality in education obliges a reconsideration of the teacher educational approach so that the didactic strategies developed are centered of learning and especially on the learner. We talk about interactive teaching strategies because we talked about active learning, we talked about the involvement of collaboration between students and teachers. And interactive didactic strategies have the role in the instructive educational activity, in the design phase, in the actual phase of the activity, but also in the self-evaluation phase. Now, my proposition for today is just to take a look at the fishbowl strategies, aquarium techniques. Fishbowl or the aquarium technique or observed interaction methods aims to put the students involved alternative into a situation. On one hand, active participants in a debate. On the other hand, observers of the interaction that can occur. And the use of this method implies compliance with the following steps: arranging furniture, setting up groups of participants, presentation of work tasks, and setting rules. Pay attention that the students in the inner circle will debate for 8 to 10 minutes a controversial issue, a subject, and some basic rule should be communicating to the students in the discussion group, supporting ideas based on arguments, express agreement, while another speaker requires specific, concrete, and sufficient arguments, and expressing disagreement implies compliance with the same condition. Also, pay attention, carry out work tasks, debate, observation, because the students from the two groups performs the task distributed, debating the proposed topic, respectively filling in the observation handout or protocol. Also, in the fifth phase, we must submit the observation. Students in the outer cycle present the data recorded in the observation sheet. And role reversal, students change places. Another subject, another idea is launched that students in the inner circle have to debate. You can see here the fishbowl. We have the discussion group. We have also the observator groups. And using this method, the teacher will assume the following roles. You can see here a lot of roles here for the teacher: observer, motivator, guide, facilitator, consultant, supporter, mediator, also coordinator. We think about there are a lot of advantages of fishbowl strategies technique. You will see in the 3 minutes of the video. It will be projected. Formation and consolidation of active listening skills, formation and development of reflective capacity, development of critical and creative thinking, development of relationship skills, also promoting. I find it's very powerful, very interesting. We promote the interlearning and the active participation and the involvement of all students in carrying out learning tasks, developing also a positive attitude towards learning, strengthening self-confidence, but also the formation and development of cooperation capacity and team spirit. And this is the image for the fishbowl. In one moment, I will show you the video, the fishbowl. Take a look.
Your students have finished their group work, the assignment is complete, and it's time to move on, right? Although sometimes this might be true due to the reality of pacing restraints, if at all possible, you should have some form of post-activity assessment. This will provide you with a formative assessment to make sure that all of your groups understand the most important concepts in your curriculum. In addition, it offers an opportunity for students to share what they've learned with each other and even do some peer teaching. Oh, hey Samuel, I was just talking about formative assessments for post-group activities.
Oh, what a great topic.
Yeah, do you happen to have a favorite?
I actually do. It's called the fishbowl.
That's a great one. Would you like to help me explain it?
Sure. So to set up the fishbowl, you'll need an inner and an outer circle of desks. The inner circle should have one seat for each group. For example, like in the graphic you're looking at now, if you have 6 groups, you'll need 6 chairs. The outer circle will need to have enough seats for the rest of your class.
This assessment's based on discussion, so we're going to have each group's reporter take a seat in the inner circle. You can help them begin and maintain a discussion about the previous activity by asking targeting questions, such as, was Greece truly a democracy? Samuel?
Then, each reporter from each group will answer the question in turn.
If the students are keeping the conversation going and staying focused on the topic, it's fine to let them talk.
But remember, only the students in the inner circle should be speaking. Once each reporter has spoken at least 2 to 3 times, have the reporter tag out to another one of their group members from the outer circle. Kyle, you're next.
The new group member will now be in the inner circle and should make at least one statement before tagging out.
When each group member has participated by speaking in the fishbowl, your formative assessment is complete.
So, this was our workshop on strategies. Pay attention. We look forward to having you again at IREU at the International Internship University. Don't forget, we are leading virtual education system, a global grant confederation. The trust is worldwide and well reputed in delivering innovative programs. This is why we invited you to just watch us teaching and learning strategies in an educated country. In this country, live in Romania. So don't forget the International Internship University. I would like to send you my best regards from Romania. Thank you for watching us today. See you also for other important events. See you. Cheers.